this is Amanda from the Fundamental Home, and I'm here doing today's video for the Virtual Homeschool Co-op, and we are talking about reasons why we homeschool. And Trish gave us a list of questions to talk about why we started homeschooling, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And her first question was, what was your initial reason to get started homeschooling? Well, initially, we got started homeschooling because our children were having issues in the school system. We've talked about it in depth in a lot of different videos. Rick and I will link up here at the top to a video Rick and I did talking about biblical reasons for homeschooling, and we'll get into that if you want to check that out. But we kind of go through the whole story about how we made it into homeschooling. But the short answer is Ricky was struggling to even read, and I didn't even know he could not read at all until I brought him home. And Brian was well advanced and was just kind of sitting around getting lazy, essentially, is what I felt like he was doing. So that's where we were, and we felt like they weren't getting the individualized attention that they needed. And so I figured I'd give homeschooling a shot to see how it would go, and guess what? It was great. Best thing we ever did. So did I always know I was going to homeschool? Absolutely not. I hadn't even heard of it when my kids were young. And, I just assumed when I put Brian in school that my kids would kind of go through and do the same things that I did and go to the same public schools that I did. I totally had no idea what direction the Lord was going to take me. But yeah, so no, I was not and always going to do it. Have my reasons changed? That is the big question. My reasons have changed. I think that the very best reason for homeschooling, in addition to the whole academic thing, because I definitely think that the individualized attention breeds more intelligence and a better quality of education. But the most important reason for me for homeschooling is that we get to be with our children all the time. I think that parents are missing out on so much now, that especially now that my children are older, and I kind of can see on the brink that they're getting ready to leave our home here in the next few years. And I think of all the time that I would have missed had I not homeschooled. I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine. My children have been with me every day since we started homeschooling. And that was when they were very young. I cannot imagine all the hours, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day for so many years. I mean, that is just so much time out of their life that you missed. And I know for my own self that my relationship with my parents, while I love them and I'm close to them, I don't think that we have anywhere near the relationship that I have with my children who've been with me every single day. And that's important to me, because I had my children and I love my children. And I don't want to just turn them over to someone else and say, here you go, you handle them. I want to be the one to raise them and to teach them and show them everything that there is in life. I did not realize till I made myself responsible for their education how much I wanted to teach them. Because I just assumed they would be taught a lot of different things. But then when it was my responsibility for me to actually put the effort in every day and say, I'm going to teach you this. And there's this that you need to know, and there's this book that you need to read, and just to make all these plans. To me, to be able to spread that knowledge, to be able to spend that time with them. I'm sorry, I have allergies, so forgive my stuffiness. But it has just been amazing. It has been the very best thing, and I wouldn't trade it for a thing. I wouldn't trade it for a thing. So yes, the educational reason was important. Yes, the faith reason was important, but it wasn't the number one importance, because we had a really great Christian school that our children were part of. The reason why I homeschool is because, number one, they have such a great educational opportunity, but number two, and more importantly, that's not in order of importance, that we get to spend time with our children, and we're not turning them over to anyone else. It's us and them. And I don't want to miss that time. That's valuable time. I wouldn't give that to anybody else for anything, honestly. So the last question is, how does the way, or I guess the reason you started homeschooling, resemble who you are as a family? Well, I think it's important for us because we are very academically minded. And we do want our children to have an excellent education. It's really important to us. I would have liked it had the boys learned a trade, or even Brianna learned a trade, and I don't have any issue with that at all. I consider that an education as well. My hair. But being that we are so academically focused, you can see that from our reason to begin homeschooling. But also, with my new reason, we're also family focused. You know, the people in this household are very important to us. We want to do everything we can to protect and care for the people who are here. So, while I do think it's great to support others, I spent time this last year volunteering even at my local elementary school. You know, we want to support other people's children. I of course lead our county's homeschool organization, so I spend time supporting other homeschool families. I have a YouTube channel that I try to encourage other families there. But it's very important to me to make sure that the people in this household are cared for by me and by my husband. So anyway, that is it for Trisha's questions. I hope that covers our reasons for homeschooling. I know that she was looking for diverse answers. I think that probably a lot of people might have similar reasoning to mine, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the other people answer that are in the Virtual Homeschool Co-op. So if you haven't had the opportunity, make sure you go to the link that's down below too, to the Virtual Homeschool Co-op link up, and check out what the other moms have to say, because all of this was based on an article that Trish had read that was talking about the diversity of reasons that people begin to homeschool, and it's not always what people think it is. You know, it's not always religious extremism or antisocial people. You know, there's a lot of reasons, from allergies to special needs. I mean, there's a number of reasons why people choose to homeschool. So there it is. There's our reasons. Check them all out and see what you can do. So anyway, that's it for me today, and that's all I got. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. You have a good day. Bye.